This episode's brought to you by Skinit. Use the code JPBeyond and get 25% off your order. And I know that I said that was going to be for just July, but it's forever now.
Yes, they extended the sponsorship.
Isn't that awesome? Woohoo! For everybody.
Yes. So
buy something and put Jesse's face on it and then send us a picture of your electronic Jesse
that
item.
wouldn't be awkward.
No, but it would be awkward and embarrassing if I told you that it was only July and now you could do it forever. That would be embarrassing.
Yes, embarrassing. Segue into the theme of this video. Okay, so I'm Jesse, and I got some awkward moments that have happened to me in my life.
Right. We were thinking about like competing who's more awkward, but there's no competition here.
Wow, okay.
Just you.
Fine. Last year, I moved into a new house, and when I was coming home from work, like the very first day, I was like going to actually go to that house for kind of like the first time to kind of go and live, you know? So
like you do.
Yeah. So I was coming home that day, and I was like, I'm pretty sure I remember which house is ours. So I turned onto the street, and I thought our house was like the very first house on that street, and I see a guy out in front of the house, like on his phone. Now we bought the house from a Hispanic couple, and it was a Hispanic guy standing there on his phone, and in a matter of like milliseconds, my brain thought this whole thing of like, oh, that must be the guy we bought the house from. I guess he's just here for some reason. I'm pretty sure that's our house, so yeah, it makes sense. That's fine that he's there. That's not weird. That's okay. So I just went with the surety and just turned right in there into that house, pulled into the driveway, and I get out, and he just goes, hey! And I was like, oh, and then I looked over, and my brother's car is in the next house over, and I was like, oh no, wait, I meant to go to that. I'm sorry. And then I get back in, and I pull out, and I pull right in on the other side of him. Hey.
See, you didn't have to do that. You could have just been like, hey, I'm your new neighbor. I just didn't want to walk over here to say hi.
I make it personal.
Right. I just wanted to come over and say hi.
No.
So I drove here.
Nope. I panicked, and nope. Yeah, so every day after that, anytime I saw him, like, outside his house, you know, I couldn't help but think, like, I feel like this guy's probably just thinking, like, there's that weird guy that drove into my house the other day. Now, I think a lot of us can relate to having awkward moments with, like, people in the service industry. I think those kind of situations are just, like, prone to, I don't know, some type of awkward thing. Like, lots of times it's like I didn't hear what they said, and I stand there for a second, and I'm confused. I was like, what? Or, you know, just something weird like that. Well, one time I went with my friend Jamie to this burger place. It's kind of more like a fancy kind of place. You know, you get like a waiter, and so I'm ordering my burger, right? And I'm kind of constructing it, and he's, you know, asked me what I want on it and stuff. He gets to, like, do you want pickles on it? And I said, yes, I'll pickles. And then the next thing he said was, and how would you like that? And for some reason, I thought he was still talking about the pickles. And so, like, in my head, I was like, what? Like, there's different ways to prepare pickles, and I was like, what? And then I just responded with pickle-y, and then Jamie's laughing, and I was like, and he's like, no, the meat. How would you like? I was like, medium well.
Was that more embarrassing for you or him? I think it's probably more embarrassing for him.
Okay.
So you're free on that one. That's a pass.
Good. And of course, I had one of those classic ones where you're going to talk to a pretty girl, and it's like you've never said a single word before in your entire life, and your mouth just makes up some new language. Yeah, I was in school. I was a teenager at this point, and it was in film class.
Okay.
So, and there was this, you know, she was like the pretty...
Common interests.
Yeah,
wow.
I guess. So she was like the pretty one. I think it was like an unspoken thing that we all just knew she was.
Oh, okay.
I felt like we were all like kids, but she was like a woman, you know?
Oh.
So just, yeah. So, anyway.
Go on.
So she was like standing over by like the trash can, and I had something I was going to go throw away. I was like, oh, she's standing there. I was like, you know, I'm not afraid. Like, I'm not shy. Like,
I ain't afraid of no
who cares?
girl.
She's the pretty girl.
Yeah.
Like, she's just a human. So I'm going to walk over, throw
in my
thing
class,
in the
the same age as me.
Yeah, I'm just going to walk over and just be like, hey, or like, hi, how you doing? Like, I'm not afraid.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
Something
right?
cool guys say.
It's like nothing to be afraid of. So I walk over and I throw it in there. I go to say hi, but my brain decides to say hi and how are you at the same time.
Oh.
So it comes out as like, how are you? Like, just like some weird thing. And she goes, what? And Now this time I had an exit plan, an exit strategy. So
Okay.
I was like, so what I did was, instead of being like, I'm sorry, I meant hi, how are you? No, I just said, never mind.
Oh.
Like, I said a completely normal word and you just didn't hear me. And that was it. I don't think I ever talked to her again, really.
Sad. You should have said, I said, hi. I was trying to say hi and how are you, but I just made a new word. And then she would have been like, oh, that's so cute.
Dorky and funny.
Yeah, it would have been dorky, funny yourself. You could have been yourself.
I was just trying to save time and say hi, how are you at the same time.
But now I'm explaining it all.
Now I'm explaining it.
So it didn't save time, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been good.
I missed out on a perfect little meet cute kind of moment.
Yeah, and then
just being
one of those memories you call back and say, remember when we first met and you said hi?
Nope, instead I went with, never mind.
Okay. Pro tip for guys who are teenagers wanting to talk to girls: don't be a jerk. Okay.
Now, one of the most actual like embarrassing moments I can think of, if I think of like actually biggest embarrassing moments, was actually at your wedding. You were there. I was had the honor of being the best man, and it was a great
high esteem.
It was yes. It was everything was good. For my toast, I decided to I didn't decide. You guys Kim told me to do it. Oh. Yeah, that's right. Kim said like, Jesse, you're gonna sing a song for us at our wedding. She basically just told me.
Oh.
Like And,
well, you were probably saying like, I don't know how to do a speech or something, and then she's probably like, do a song then.
Something like that.
Know how to
but
do
she
that.
basically just said,
All right.
Yeah, sing a song for us. So I of course took it seriously, and then I wrote a song for you guys. And I was fully ready. We had a keyboard out and everything. And then when I went to go give the speech, I was going to just sit and play the song.
That's your speech. We're done.
Yeah.
It was good.
Of course, I was nervous. Obviously, nervous. But
not embarrassed though.
Not embarrassed yet. And then, so we're at the what do you call that part?
The reception.
Yeah. And it's speech time. And then her maid of honor goes first, and she gets up and she does the typical normal, way of doing a speech. And as she's there telling her speech and telling funny stories about her and Kim and stuff, all of a sudden I started second guessing everything in my head. I was like, what am I doing? Like this is what everybody wants. They just want a normal speech. Why am I? So I was like, okay, you know what? I gotta try to squeeze in some kind of normal, speech. And then I got up and I tried to just give a speech, and it was just awkward. You could tell I just didn't have anything prepared.
If I remember, I was just trying to say it's okay, you're good, just play the song, do what you prepared, basically.
I tried to say, I knew
good.
Jonathan, and then Kim came, and I.
That's what it was. It's I knew you, and then I know you.
Yeah. So it was, and then I said, and I'm gonna play a song, and then I played the song, and everyone thought it was beautiful, and it was great, and that's what I should have just done. Right. And then it's I ruined it with this terrible intro, and I was embarrassed.
Yeah, well, I think the lesson there is, just go with what you have planned. Don't second guess yourself.
Okay, here's one for you, and this one is a double whammy because I made my friend get embarrassed too. So yes, it wasn't just my own embarrassment, but I hurt a dear friend.
Okay.
So
I'm ready.
Our friend Amy, she years ago she was going to audition for this prestige, not prestige.
She's gonna be a magician.
What?
The Prestige?
No, I meant to say
she's auditioning for that movie.
What's the word for
prestigious?
Prestigious?
Yeah, it's elite and and high, well known and high
choir.
Class.
No, that's not the word either. Prestigious choir, and you get extra points if you get an actual pianist to actually play with you. So she asked me.
Lucky for her, she knows an actual pianist.
Right.
You.
So she asked me, "Can you learn this song and play with me for my audition?" And I was like, "Okay, yeah, I will." And it was a classical song, which I don't do classical, so but I studied it and I learned it, and I wanted to be there for her to be able to help. Mm-hmm. So I learned the song, and we go there to the thing, and we go into this classroom or whatever, and then I think it was just one lady judge. She's just sitting there, and so I go to the piano and I start playing. Everything's sounding okay. I mean, I'm not really making a lot of mistakes or anything, and she's singing, and here we go. We're doing it. Right. So I'm playing, and and then a little bit into it, I was just curious. I wonder how the judges
Right.
like I want
sense how she's feeling about it. Yeah.
Right. I couldn't see her because I was like, under, behind the piano. So I was like,
Alright.
I'm just gonna peek up and just see what her, reaction is. I'm just curious. So as I'm playing, I kind of go and just look over. I look and she's looking right at me, just like making like just this kind of blank expression. And I just go like, what is that face? What does that face mean? And I just go,
And then you shrink back down.
and I was like, why? And then she stops us and goes like, I'm sorry. She's like, I can't hear anything she's singing. The piano's way too loud. I get it. You're a good piano player. And then I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know I was playing. I didn't realize I was. And then I was like, where do you want to start from? And she's like, let's just start from the beginning. And then, and then we start from.
Did you purposely play quieter?
I tried.
After
Yeah,
that?
I tried.
Just banging on it. Like how?
I think I just tried to play
Played
lighter.
too hard. Oh.
And now for the number one on the greatest hits of my embarrassing moments. So when I used to teach kids keyboard after school, piano. So after school one day, there was one of the kids' moms just kind of striking up a conversation with me. Yeah. And I wasn't really in the mood to talk that day. I wasn't feeling really social, so I was just kind of doing that, just kind of like, kind of thing as she was talking. I was being a poor listener. So she's talking, right? And I'm just kind of saying yeah to everything. And at one point, I thought I heard her say like, oh, you're from New York? Or like maybe I think she said maybe something about my accent or something, but that's what I thought she said. So
Right.
I was just kind of like, yeah. And so she's talking longer, and eventually I figure out that, oh wait, she's not talking about New York, she's talking about New Jersey. Now, at this moment is where I could have just been like a normal person and just been like, oh, wait a minute, I thought you said New York, but you're, no, I'm from New York, not New Jersey.
Right.
It would have been fine and not
okay.
weird at all, but no, instead, I decide, sure, whatever, I'm just gonna go with this. Like, I just want to hurry up and get this conversation over. I don't feel like stopping to be like, no, wait, never mind. Like, trying to make it less awkward, which is just, stupid and actually just makes it more.
worse.
So,
Yeah, probably.
so I just keep doing the kind of thing, and now she's talking about New Jersey stuff or whatever.
Oh no.
So, of course, she has to say, oh, so what part of New Jersey are you from? And then it's like time froze, and it's like I stepped out of my own body and just said like, so what are you gonna do now? And I swear, this is how far I was willing to take this entangled web of lies. I actually tried to think of any city in New Jersey, but I was drawing a blank and I couldn't think of anything. But I swear, if I would have thought of a single city, I would have just said it and just went with it. So I just said like, oh no, I'm from New York. And she didn't react too crazy or anything. She just kind of said that, she just kind of said like, oh, okay, kind of thing. But in her head, I knew, okay, she knows, why did he just stand here and let me talk about this whole time? And, I just felt so stupid. And
In an attempt to be polite and show that you're listening, you made it worse and proved to her that you were never listening in the first place. And she went on and on. It's not embarrassing to correct somebody. With a weird name like mine, I always decide, am I going to know this person for more than a day? I'm going to tell them my name is Jonathan, not Jonathan. If it's going to be a day and I probably won't see him again, yes, my name can be Jonathan today. That's just how I decide.
Okay.
So correcting people, you just weigh it out really quick and then, yeah.
So, guys, have you
Ever been embarrassed in your life?
probably were they as bad as mine, or are mine relatively, not that bad compared to some things you guys experienced?
I'd be curious to know. Is Jesse
Now, Jonathan,
average or less than average?
You haven't shared any of yours, but that's because we're gonna do a two-parter, guys.
A second episode.
Come back next week.
Or whatever
Or
week.
whenever. Hopefully it'll be a week.
Yeah, hopefully.
Jonathan, you seem to know how to kind of get away from embarrassing moments.
Sure.
How to fix them or not be embarrassed.
Right. I think with me, I just don't get embarrassed easily, but I've thought about it this whole time you were talking. I wasn't listening. I was just thinking about it. And I think there's some tips I can share with you. So
Okay, so come back next time.
Yeah.
Jonathan will
how
give
to
us
not
some,
be embarrassed.
not be embarrassed.
Yeah.
Using his own examples.
Yes.
Yes. So,
Be ready for that.
And
Bye.
bye. See, that was awkward.